Hello and welcome to Section 7 of our Microstrategy training from Virginia Tech Business Intelligence Services. And here we're just covering more advanced features that are available in interactive mode in a Microstrategy report. And we're going to again cover the tools menu, inserting metrics, and resizing columns and rows in this particular section. So we're going to take the same report that we've been using in past sessions. This will work on any report. And again, it's delivered in express mode. You can tell that because express mode is highlighted. And we need to move to interactive mode in order to release these features. So the first thing we're going to cover is the tools menu. And there are quite a few options on here. Some things to note, well, the dataset objects is checked, and you can uncheck that and the dataset objects list disappears. We'll put it back. The notes is an interesting feature in that if you're an analyst or report steward, you can actually add notes in here, and as you run a report, if you want to know a little bit more about this report, now remember you always have the help over here to get about this report, but there might be specific notes that somebody else has written about the report and you can access them here. In this case, I'm able to edit and submit. A report consumer can only view these notes. You can look at related reports, reports that are in the same folder, and I don't have any other reports in the same folder, so I only see the report that I'm running. These are interesting options. You can show your pivot buttons, and these will allow you to change. We can move to columns, move to the left, move to the right, and remove from the grid. And remember, removing from the grid does not take it off the report. You can always put it back from your dataset objects. This is your dataset objects. And then you can bring it back in. So those are some options around what you can do as far as switching rows and columns and so forth. Your sort buttons can also be added. And now you can sort by any row. And you can look at a document details page. And this page will tell you some more details about the report, report description, what's on the template, and if you're debugging, you can actually see what the SQL is that generated the report. Now in this case, this report's been run from cache, and so it's just picking up what was previously run. But it would show you the whole SQL if you're a SQL person. Okay, so you can close your document details here. And let's see, is there anything else on the tools menu that is interesting? That's about it. It's just a means of displaying your different tools, and or undisplaying them if you think they look, if this is too confusing to view. So you can display them to use them, and then undisplay them for viewing. The next thing we're going to cover is inserting a metric, and you can do this from any header. You have the option to insert a metric, and when you do that, you can actually look at a percent to the total, and there's lots of different options for that. You can do a rank metric and what you want to break by, and you can create a new metric. So we're going to do a percent to total, And we're going to do it for each question. Well, let's do it for each department. So for each department, we're going to say what is the percent of, and I clicked on this department section count, what is the percent of sections for this particular department of this, let's do it by question. So for this question, what is the percent? So you'll see here that this section count, and then we had a percent to total of the spot department section count. The next section actually covers how to expand your columns. You have to just grab them right in the middle. You can make it a little larger, a little smaller. But anyhow, this section count is 2, and you can see that's 19% of the sections of that department, 10%, 29%, and so forth and so forth. So you can insert any kind of metrics simply by clicking. It'll do a default, but remember in the last section you can also rename this header anything that you want. It defaults to say, well, this is the percent of the total spot section count for that department. Okay. The other features that we're going to talk about here are resizing columns and rows, which I just did. You just drag and drop, and it will resize your columns however you want. Okay. Rows are the same thing. You just have to get the double arrow in between, just like you would do in a spreadsheet. Okay. So that really covers this section, is how you navigate through the tools features, how and display or undisplay different features, and how you insert metrics, and how you resize columns and rows in an interactive report.